Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're diving straight into something that affects millions of pet parents, but honestly, it flies completely under the radar until it turns into a really urgent, sometimes super painful problem. We are talking about grooming our senior cats. Okay, let's just dive right into this. Because there's this massive myth out there that cats literally just take care of themselves. But relying on that myth, that can actually cause our older, aging felines a whole lot of silent suffering. Right off the bat, let's address the elephant in the room. Do cats always clean themselves? I mean, we all have this picture in our heads of cats as these meticulous, self-cleaning little machines, right? Spending hours every single day just perfecting their coats. And hey, for a big chunk of their younger lives, that's absolutely true. They are incredibly efficient at it. But here is the crucial point. Age changes everything. Just like us, a cat's physical capabilities change, or, well, decline over time. Assuming your 15-year-old cat can groom themselves with the exact same agility as a 2-year-old, that's a really famous misconception. And it's one we've got to dismantle right here, right now, if we want to properly care for them. Think about young cats for a second. They are incredibly agile. They're basically liquid, right? They can contort themselves to easily reach literally every inch of their body. But as they get older, we're looking at a completely different physical reality. They really start to struggle with grooming due to very specific health conditions. We're talking about things like arthritis, which makes all that bending and twisting stiff and really painful. We're also talking about dental pain. Remember, cats use their teeth and mouths to pull out tangles, so if their gums hurt, they're just gonna stop doing it entirely. Add in stuff like obesity or just a general loss of flexibility, and suddenly you've got a pet who desperately wants to be clean, but physically just cannot do the job anymore. Now, reduced flexibility doesn't mean they just give up on grooming entirely. What it actually means is they start neglecting specific, really hard-to-reach places. As you'll see, the major danger zones are the back, the hips, and the tail area. These are the highly vulnerable spots for a senior cat. The tricky part is they might still have a perfectly pristine face, chest, and front paws, which completely tricks us into thinking, oh, they're doing fine. But meanwhile, the whole back half of their body, the hips, the base of the tail, is totally neglected because it just hurts way too much to twist around. And that's exactly where we need to step in. Because if we don't intervene, guys, things can go south so fast. Look at this quote from American Humane. They state that matted fur can lead to serious health issues, including painful skin infections. I want you to really let that sink in for a second. We so often think of brushing a cat or untangling a knot as just, a cosmetic chore, something we do just to make them look pretty or to stop them from shedding all over the sofa. But the stakes are actually so much higher than that. This absolutely elevates grooming from a superficial task to a critical, non-negotiable medical requirement to keep our senior pets out of pain. We toss the word mat around a lot, but mechanically speaking, a mat isn't just a simple knot. It's this dense, tight tangle of unbrushed fur that literally blocks airflow. And when that happens, it creates this sealed-off environment right against your cat's incredibly thin, delicate skin. It traps moisture, it traps natural body oils, and it traps dirt. According to the ASPCA Pro resource, this trapped, dirty, moist little pocket is exactly what leads to those awful skin infections we were just talking about. Plus, it physically pulls their skin tight every time they try to walk, which makes every single movement super uncomfortable for them. So how do we actually help them without totally stressing them out? Well, it comes down to a really simple, highly effective at-home routine for gentle brushing. First step, you've got to start slowly. You cannot rush this, especially with an older kitty who might be a bit tender. Keep the sessions really short. We're talking just a few minutes at a time. This is absolutely crucial. Reward your cat with their favorite treat or some extra love to build a positive association with the brush. And finally, stop before they get upset. Do not push through their resistance. If they get overwhelmed, just pack it up and try again tomorrow. This simple process is a real game changer. It empowers you to actively reduce their grooming stress while safely breaking up those early tangles. Oh, and there is a massive hidden benefit to these short at-home sessions too. Gentle brushing actually serves a dual purpose. Yes, you're keeping their coat clean, for sure, but you are also basically performing a routine hands-on physical exam. By getting your hands on your older cat every single day, you're creating your very own early warning system. You'll be the first one to notice a new lump, some flaky skin, a developing sore, maybe fleas, or just tender spots that make them wince. When it comes to aging cats, early detection is literally everything. And these short daily grooming sessions are hands down the best way to catch things before they turn into a major vet visit. Now, all that being said, at-home care definitely has its limitations. And you know what? That is perfectly okay. You just need to know the red flags that mean it's time to call in the cavalry. If you feel hard clumps in the coat, those are severe mats, and a normal brush just isn't going to fix that. Also, keep an eye out for overgrown curling nails. That's super common in older cats who've maybe stopped using their scratching posts. Heavy shedding that leads to endless hairballs, that's another big warning sign. Then you have sanitary issues, especially around the rear end. And lastly, if your cat is just showing super high stress during your home grooming attempts, if you are seeing any of these signs, it's a clear signal to step back and let a professional take over. Okay, before we get into exactly what those professionals do, I need to give you a very serious, high-stakes safety warning. Please never, ever cut mats with scissors at home. I absolutely cannot emphasize this enough. I know it is so incredibly tempting to just grab the kitchen scissors and snip a knot right out of their fur, but cat skin is exceptionally thin, way, way thinner than a dog's, and it is dangerously easy to injure. To make matters worse, when a mat forms, it often pulls the skin right up into the tangle itself. So you might think you're just snipping hair, but you could literally be cutting directly into your cat's skin. The whole DIY scissor approach is a massive, massive hazard. Instead, let's rely on what a professional groomer can do to safely get your senior cat comfortable again. First and foremost, they provide safe mat removal using specialized tools that won't risk cutting the skin. They also do de-shedding services. Getting rid of all that loose undercoat means your cat is swallowing way less hair, which really cuts down on those painful hairballs. They'll also handle expert nail trims to keep those claws from snagging on carpets and causing claw pain. And honestly, this is huge for older cats with mobility issues. They can do sanitary trims for the rear area. That ensures your cat stays perfectly clean and keeps their dignity, even when they just can't reach back for themselves anymore. So, how do you actually go about finding the right help? Well, you'll want to use a specific checklist when you're evaluating a groomer. First, absolutely verify that they have cat-specific experience. Cats react completely differently to water, to noises, and to being handled than dogs do. Next up, look for calm handling. A pro who uses slow, gentle movements is going to lower fear and stress, which is so important for an older kitty's heart. You also want to make sure they have a clean workspace and clean tools to lower any risk of spreading skin issues. And finally, check for honest safety policies. If a groomer clearly communicates exactly how they protect and notice for senior cats, that is someone you can trust with your fragile feline. So, to bring this all together, keeping up with a solid maintenance schedule really is your absolute best defense against those painful mats. Long-haired cats especially often benefit from a professional groom every 4 to 8 weeks. Because listen, this isn't just a one-and-done kind of fix, it's a routine. By combining that reliable 4 to 8 week professional visit with your own gentle, regular home brushing sessions, you are basically creating this comprehensive safety net, one that keeps your aging pet comfortable, super clean, and entirely pain-free. Which leaves us with one final, incredibly important question to ponder today. Is your aging cat hiding their grooming struggles? Remember, cats are naturally stoic creatures. They are literally hardwired to hide their pain and their physical limitations. So just because they aren't actively complaining to you, it doesn't mean they aren't struggling to reach their hips or their tail. So right after this explainer wraps up, I highly encourage you to go gently run your hands over your senior cat's back, along their hips, and under their coat. Check for any unseen tangles, check those nails, and just see if they need a little extra help. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep asking those great questions, keep looking out for your free friends, and I will catch you on the next explainer.